Alright, y'all, so this week I went on vacation, and throughout this week, a ton of things just dropped, including the Wicked for Good trailer, which I want to talk about first. And I think it's because, like, I just went to Universal Studios, and there was a ton of Wicked stuff over there, and I'm like, I gotta make a Wicked video. Because I really did love Wicked when I watched it in theaters last year. I still have not watched the stage musical of it. I do want to see that one day, so hopefully we'll get to see that one day. But I do have a Universal Studios vlog as well as an Epic Universe like vlog-esque video coming out this week, so stay tuned for that. Hit the subscribe button and notification bell. Let's get into Wicked 2, Wicked for Good. So Wicked for Good is going to be coming out later this year. It will release on November 21st, 2025, which is a year from when Wicked released last year. Directed by Jon M again, and this has Cynthia Erivo, Ariana Grande, Jonathan Bailey, Ethan Slater, everybody else reprising their roles, Michelle Yeoh and Jeff Goldblum. So the trailer is here, and let's talk about it. So we do have a premise here, and I don't know if you don't want spoilers or do, or if you've seen the musical and all of that. We'll definitely get a little bit into spoiler territory about what potentially is happening. I won't try to get too specific with it. That way we don't get a lot of spoilers out of what's going to happen, even though it is a play and everything that happens in the story has been out. I know a lot of people never saw that and they don't want that. So I'm not going to really dive too deep, but I will have some light spoilers here and there. So just be warned. Premise reads, Elphaba, now demonized as the Wicked Witch of the West, lives in exile, hidden within the Ozian forest, while continuing her fight for the freedom of Oz's silenced animals and desperately trying to expose the truth she knows about the wizard. Galinda, meanwhile, has become the glamorous symbol of goodness for all of Oz, living at the palace in Emerald City and reveling in the perks of fame and popularity. Under the instructions of Madame Morval, Galinda is deployed to serve as an effervescent comfort to Oz, reassuring the masses that all is well under the rule of the wizard. As Galinda's stardom expands and she prepares to marry Prince Fiyero in a spectacular Ozian wedding, she is haunted by her separation from Elphaba. She attempts to broker a reconciliation between Elphaba and the wizard, but those efforts will fail, driving Elphaba and Galinda only further apart. The aftershock will transform Bach and Fiyero forever and threaten the safety of Elphaba's sister, Nessa Rose, when a girl from Kansas comes crashing into all their lives. Those things are important right there, and I'll get into that spoiler talk at the end of the video if you don't know what's going to happen, because it is very crucial the way it's written. As an angry mob rises against the Wicked Witch, Galinda and Elphaba will need to come together one final time, with their singular friendship now the fulcrum of their futures. They will need to truly see each other with honesty and empathy if they are to change themselves and all of Oz for good. So that's what we have right there. So I'll talk more about all of that and what is potentially happening here and the structure of the movie in another video though. So I did watch the trailer, and I will tell you, I am super excited. So before we get into the trailer, they did say there are 2 new songs that aren't in the original stage play that are going to be added to the film, so just keep an eye out for that as well. One of the things you see in the trailer is we do get one of the major songs that people are so excited to hear, which is No Good Deed from Elphaba as she is in the forest. We also see Madame Morval in the trailer creating the twister that is so infamous with the Wizard of Oz. We know that this is the twister that eventually does bring Dorothy from Kansas into Oz, and of course that causes some problems after that, which we'll talk about as well towards the end. We do see in the trailer as well that Fiyero is now the captain of the guard, and he is sort of like put in charge of hunting down the Wicked Witch and bringing her to the wizard. So that's his main priority here. And as we know, this is a very like complex thing for Fiyero, because he does have feelings for Elphaba, but he is marrying Galinda in this trailer, as we'll see later. We also see the Yellow Brick Road bricks make an appearance, as well as the brochure that Galinda gave to Elphaba towards the end of the last film. Elphaba was going to go see the wizard for the first time. I really love also the wedding feature we get here really quick. It really is a lot like the Crazy Rich Asians wedding. Jon M can really make a great wedding scene, honestly. Really love that as well. We also see the slippers that are worn by Elphaba and Nessa Rose's mother being worn by someone here. We're not too entirely sure who could it be. Speaking of slippers, we do have, of course, Dorothy and Toto right here, as you can see, being led through Munchkin Land. Jon M also explained that these characters coming in will affect Galinda and Elphaba's journey, saying, we tread lightly but try to make more sense of how it impacts our girls and our characters than maybe the show does, which I think is interesting. Of course, a lot of people were really kind of like sideswept when they said that this was going to be split into 2 parts, because the show apparently is able to tell it in a shorter amount of time, the story. But I do love that they're trying to sort of like expand more and really have us relish more in the land and get to know these characters a bit more. So I'm curious to see what they're going to do. One of the most exciting shots, I think, definitely has to be Dorothy the Tin Tin Men cowardly facing the Wizard of Oz, in which he instructs them to bring him the broom of the Wicked Witch of the West. And of course, this is the only way that Dorothy's gonna be able to get out, right? And one thing to note here as well is that Glinda is trying to get Elphaba and the wizard on speaking terms, or try to make everything better in a way. We see Glinda here wanting to have both worlds. She wants to still be Glinda the Great, but she also does still want her relationship with Elphaba to be back to where it was. The film does pick up years later, so it seems that they've just completely drifted apart, but it looks like once they're able to like get back together and see one another, it's like all of those emotions and love come back brighter than it was before. There are so many great shots as well throughout the trailer with Elphaba and the flying monkeys, as well as Elphaba and Glinda's tearful reunion, and also the room where we might apparently see Dorothy pour that bucket of water onto the witch, which is a big scene in The Wizard of Oz. And I really do enjoy how they're bringing like this movie into an epic conclusion as well. Now, I tell you, I have not watched the stage play, so I don't know exactly how it goes there, but I'm very excited for the movie in itself. We do see a glimpse of Fiyero seemingly betraying the wizard at one point here, giving Elphaba back her broomstick, and we'll talk more about how this is all going to be affected by everybody as well. Moment here where I think things are going to shift into a different tone for sure. We also get these shots of the angry mob trying to go after the witch. And of course, as we know, at the beginning of Wicked, we did see that it started with the Wicked Witch of the West being declared dead and Glinda coming to comfort everyone. And, you know, I'm very excited to see this movie and cannot wait. But definitely, I think that these shots, or most of this trailer, is just from the beginning of the movie. And I think that we definitely are going to see a shifting point here, because I think that the first half of the movie is going to have like Elphaba returning back to Glinda and trying to get to the wizard, with Fiyero needing to hunt her down of sorts and all of them. And I think when she gets there, this is where you see, so spoilers ahead for what happens in the play and what will happen in the movie. So if you don't want any spoilers about major character changes and all of that, this is probably where you need to leave the video now. So if you're still here, you're okay with spoilers, but I just want to warn you for that. If you haven't seen the play or read about it and all of that, you're probably going to get spoiled something major that's going to happen here. So I'll give you a little bit more time to leave, but go ahead and hit the subscribe and notification bell. We talk all the things you love in pop culture. I'm trying to catch up with a ton of things right now, so definitely stay tuned. I'm going to be talking about some other movies that are releasing this summer, so very excited for all of that. But spoilers in 1, 2, 3. So in Wicked, and this is a major spoiler, like I said, Fiyero and Bach eventually turn into the Tin Men and the Scarecrow, and this is something that we're going to see happen in this film as well. This is what happens to Fiyero and Bach as well, turning into the allies for Dorothy at one point. And of course, the line was the young cub that we saw at the end of Wicked in the first movie. And so what we also see in this movie that will happen is that Nessa Rose, of course, has that house fall on her due to Madame Morrible creating that twister that will eventually bring Dorothy into Oz. And so Dorothy is being manipulated by the wizard to take the broom from the Wicked Witch of the West in order to be able to basically take her out, right? And so that's what we're going to see here. I really love the trailer. Really cannot wait to see how this movie is going to play on the big screen. It looks magical. It looks beautiful. Songs are going to hit. The harmony that these two had in the trailer at some points was just off the charts, and I cannot wait. I'll talk more about the Wicked for Good and what you can expect in another video as we get closer to the release date. We still got a good amount of time. We still got the whole summer, and then it's into the fall in November, so we got a good time before we get the film. But I just want to talk about the trailer. Really love it. Cannot wait. Cynthia Erivo and Ariana Grande are definitely winning this year for sure, because this trailer was just gorgeous. It sounded beautiful, and I cannot wait to see this movie. Let me know what you thought about the trailer. Let me know if you've seen the musical on stage, or if you're just excited to see it and you just are anticipating watching the movie first and then seeing the musical. Maybe that's something I'll do. I don't know, but we'll see. As always, that's going to do it for me. Hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell. Let's get to 50,000 subscribers. That's the big goal for the summer. We'll do some more Wicked videos as we get closer to the release date. Probably I'll do another Wicked video maybe around next month or so. And cannot wait to talk more of this movie with y'all once it releases, reviews, spoilers, things like that. So stay tuned. As always, I'll see y'all next time. Hit that subscribe and notification bell. Follow us wherever you can. Stay safe. Stay positive.